Today we're going to be looking at similarity in overlapping triangles. So determine if you have enough information to say that each set of overlapping triangles is similar. If yes, justify your reasoning, make a similarity statement, and give a similarity ratio. If not, say not enough information. So there's three things we have to do. If yes, we have to justify our reasoning with a postulate or theorem. Then we're going to write a similarity statement, and then we're going to give the similarity ratio. Let's take a look at letter A. We have a smaller triangle, triangle CBD, and a larger triangle CAE. So I've drawn these triangles separately, just as we did when we were proving whether or not overlapping triangles are congruent. So let's label some congruent parts. Both of these triangles have their bottom left angle as 54 degrees. So that means that angle B right here is 54 and angle A is also 54. They're also sharing angle C. So that means angle C in both triangles is going to be congruent. The length of CD is 15. CD corresponds to the length of C to E. So from C to E, you would want to add the 15 and the 6. So that would give me a length of 21 for CE. Now we have to see if we have enough information to determine if these triangles are similar. First, let's review what our similarity postulates and theorems are. We have the angle-angle similarity postulate, which states that if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the triangles are similar. We also have side-angle-side similarity theorem, which states if one angle of a triangle is congruent to another angle of a second triangle, and the sides have the same ratio and are proportional, then the triangles are going to be similar. The last one we have is the side-side-side similarity theorem. For that one, all sides have to have the same ratio. So if I'm looking at the information I have two angles and a side. So that would fit best with the angle-angle similarity postulate. Because I know that they have two angles that are congruent, I know that these triangles are similar. So if they're similar, we want to justify our reasoning. So we justified it here. We want to write a similarity statement. So we have triangle CBD is similar to triangle CAE. And then we want to give the similarity ratio. For the ratio, I know that side CD corresponds to side CE. So CD is 15, CE is 21. That can be simplified if you divide by 3 on both the numerator and the denominator, giving me a similarity ratio of 5/7. Let's take a look at letter B. We have triangle NHG and triangle NKT. I'm going to go ahead and draw these separately. Now let's label all the information we know. Let's start here with this 66. This 66 represents the length from N to K. So that would be on the larger triangle here. Notice that I don't know the length of NH, but I do know the length of this little piece here. How can you use this to find the length of NH? All you would have to do is subtract 22 from 66, and that'll give you the length of this segment here, which is 44. Next, I know the length from N to G is 48. So that's going to be this side here as 48. I know that the length from N to T is 72. So that's going to be this length here. These triangles overlap and share angle N. So I know that angle N is congruent to angle N. So it looks like I have a side, an angle, and a side angle, side here. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to use the side angle side similarity theorem, but in order for that to work, the sides have to be proportional and have the same ratio. Do these triangles have the same similarity ratio? When writing the ratios, these triangles do have the same similarity ratio of 2/3. That makes these triangles similar by the side angle side similarity theorem. So triangle NHG is similar to triangle NKT. Now let's take a look at C. We have X, Y, W, and X, R, Z. I've drawn the triangles separately, so let's label everything we know. I know that from X to Y, that measurement is 12. And then I know from X to R, that's going to be 12 plus 4, which is going to be 16. I know that the base of the smaller triangle from Y to W is 18, and that the base of the larger triangle RZ is 24. It looks like they have an overlapping angle at angle X. So I know that angle X is congruent to angle X. So this one might be a little bit difficult, which is why there's a star here. I'm not entirely sure if segment YW is parallel to RZ. If it were, I would have corresponding angles here, and then the angle that they share up here, and that would make them similar by the angle-angle similarity postulate. But because I don't know whether or not these are parallel, I don't know if any of these angles are going to be congruent. Next, I can look at this side angle side similarity theorem. It looks like I have side, side, angle. So because the angle is not in between the sides, I can't do that either. For side, side similarity theorem to work, I would have to know the length of XW and XZ. And because I don't know XW and XZ, I can't do the side, side similarity theorem either. So this one is not enough info. Now we're going to practice finding missing lengths in overlapping triangles. The following overlapping triangles are similar, so we don't have to worry about which postulate or theorem that they are similar by because we're being told that they are similar. So we just have to solve for the variable, and we want to work on either drawing them separately or finding corresponding sides and angles. So if you look at letter A, we have a smaller triangle here and then a larger triangle here. So that means that this side of the smaller triangle is going to correspond to this side of the larger triangle. Similarly, this shorter side of the triangle is going to correspond to this longer side of the larger triangle. So now we have enough information to write a proportion to solve for x. I'm going to do between ratios, and I'm going to compare the small triangle to the large triangle. So let's start with this side here. That would be 20 to 50 is equal to 16 over 2x plus 28. I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. Remember to leave it in factored form in case we can divide out that 20. So we have 20 times 2x plus 28, and that's equal to 50 times 16, which is 800. So 20 will definitely divide into 800 evenly. So let's go ahead and divide the 200 or the 20 out rather than distribute it in. These 20s will turn into a 1. So we have 2x plus 28 is equal to 800 divided by 20, which is 40. Then we can subtract 28 from each side. So 2x is equal to 12, giving me an answer of 6 for x. Let's take a look at letter B. We have a smaller triangle and a larger triangle. We know that this side is parallel to this side, which makes these angles congruent. So they would be congruent by side angle side similarity theorem. Let's write a proportion. I know that this side is going to be corresponding to that bottom side. So 12 corresponds to 21. Next, we need to use this side to help us set up our proportion. If the 8 is going to represent the side on the smaller triangle, what would represent the length of the larger side of the triangle? The larger side of the triangle would include the 8 and the x. So that means that the larger side would be x plus 8. Let's go ahead and use our cross products. So let's multiply 12 times x plus 8 and set that equal to 21 times 8, which is 168. I'm going to see if 12 will divide into 168 evenly, and it does. So let's get rid of that 12 by dividing it out on both sides. That's going to give me x plus 8 is equal to 14. I'm going to just subtract the 8, and you get an answer of 6 for x. Now let's take a look at letter C. We have two overlapping triangles that look very similar to how they did in letter B. We have some parallel sides here and another variable here that we're going to have to be careful and watch out for. So I know that this 10 corresponds to the 15. So I'm going to write my ratio of small triangle to large triangle, 10 over 15. If the small triangle has a side x, what does that correspond to in the larger triangle? In the larger triangle, it would be x plus 7. So let's go ahead and do our cross products. We'll do 10 times x plus 7, and then set that equal to 15x. So I know that this 10 will not divide out evenly into the 15, so we're going to have to distribute it in this time. So we have 10x plus 70 is equal to 15x. We can subtract the 10x from each side. We get 70 is equal to 5x. And then we divide by 5 on each side. We get an answer of 14 for x.